I am 38 male, and my wife is 34 female, married for 9 years. One kid 4 years old. Before marriage and the few years after, sex was great. We both were rabbits, especially on the weekends. I don't remember the need to jerk off even once. Then about 5 years ago, she got pregnant. We were trying, and it was the first month. As soon as the home pregnancy test came positive, her libido dropped to 0 instantly. This was just the 4th week of pregnancy. I tried to initiate, and a lot of times, since at the first appointment doctor said regular sex was fine, but she would turn me down every time. It came to a point where I would cry and beg on some nights, but she was on a firm no. So I thought, fine, I can't force her. So I turned to porn and masturbation. It quickly turned into an addiction. It was not in the open, since we never talked or did masturbation before in front of each other. I would mostly do it in the shower and make sure that the door is locked. She found out once that I was keeping the door closed and asked me to keep it unlocked, since she may need to rush anytime due to her morning sickness getting started. One morning, I was jerking off in the shower and she came in to puke. We have transparent glass panel shower, and she came in right when I blew my load. She gave me a disgusting look and started yelling at me, saying I should be ashamed of myself of doing such a disgusting thing when she is pregnant. I tried to talk to her after coming out, but she was walking away from me, so I just left to go to work since I was getting late. Later in the evening, I try to talk to her that I have needs and I'm not going to force her for sex, but I at least need to ejaculate 4 to 5 times a week. I was lying about the count because I was actually jerking off at least 2 times a day because of the porn. But she was like she doesn't want to hear any excuses, and I should be able to control myself for 9 months while she goes through the pregnancy. We left the argument unsettled and went to sleep, turned away from each other. Distance kept growing between us, and the relationship got awkward with only minimum talking. Somehow we managed through the whole pregnancy, and after the arrival of our newborn, at least we started talking normally. But still there was 0 intimacy, not even a hug or a kiss. I thought maybe it is postpartum, so let's give her some time. None of us initiated, and days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and then years. For years passed after pregnancy with 0 intimacy, in addition to 8 months of pregnancy. Last week, I was going to the grocery store after work and noticed my wife's car. I got curious since she had texted me earlier to pick up our son from the daycare, since he had to stay late in the office for work. Normally she picks him up after work. I followed her car, and she parked outside a Marriott hotel. I parked a little far from her. She stayed in the car for a few minutes until a man drove in another car and parked beside her. They both got out of their cars and kissed so passionately that my jaw dropped, and I literally started crying in my car. I walked into the hotel, but I didn't follow them. I called my wife on her cell phone, but she hanged up on me and texted me, "Can't talk in conference room." I confronted her that same night. She broke down and accepted that it has been going on for over 6 months. I asked her that why would she have sex with him but not me and not divorce me. She said that the guy was flirting with her since more than a year, and she found him attractive too, so she eventually gave me and was enjoying the sex too much to stop it. I told her that's it. I'm packing my stuff, leaving the house, and will file for divorce tomorrow. She started crying more and begged me to not divorce and promised me that she will break it off with him. She also promised to have sex daily with me, since her libido is now back to normal. She kept pleading, but I had made up my mind to divorce and started packing my stuff. She kept crying and was taking out the stuff that I was putting in my bag. That went on for a while, and then she did the unimaginable. She took off all her clothes, started kissing me, and was trying to take off my clothes too. Now I was a man who had not had sex, or even a hug or a kiss for almost 5 years. I was desperate for intimacy, and her crying both broke me down. I caved in, and we had sex. It was very emotional for both of us. This was 8 days ago, and she had been initiating every night, and it has been amazing so far. Am I doing the right thing in forgiving her? Is once a cheater always a cheater? Update 1. Thanks for the comments. I got a lot of comments on all the 3 posts, and it is not possible to reply to all, so I'll just summarize here. I'm not inclined to divorce. I want to avoid it. She called him with her phone on speaker and broke off with him. She also gave her 2 weeks' notice yesterday, since he is on the same team as her and there are no opportunities at her work to switch team instantly. Yes, the sex is great. She initiates at least once a day. If I initiate second time, she doesn't deny. Call me all the names, but as I said in the original post, I'm a man starving for 5 years. So I'll take whatever I'm getting now, even if it is hysterical bonding. I don't have doubts about my kid being not mine. Apart from the looks, it was the trying for baby part that we went to together of using the ovulation predictor kits, times sex, etc. She confessed that they always used a condom except one time. I booked an appointment with my doctor for getting tested. I made changes to my payroll to deposit 100% of my paycheck to my own account, instead of the 50-50 to joint account earlier. I haven't discussed this with her, but I also scheduled a meeting with a lawyer for a post-nup, so I can keep the house if we get divorced in future. When the contract is ready, I'll show it to her and be upfront that either we divorce now or she has to sign it. Update 2. STI test came back negative. She signed the post-nup. No matter whoever files for divorce in future, I get to keep the house. We closed our joint bank account and transferred it 50-50 to our own accounts. So all our bank accounts are separate now. Easy to keep our money when we divorce. Lawyers said anything related to kid cannot be included in post-nup, so I'll still be on the hook for child support. We agreed to share each other's phone locations. Also, her car has an app that allows tracking location, which I installed on my phone. Relationship is improving. We are communicating better and intimacy is great.